welcome to another of our Able Voice debriefs. Today we're going to be talking all about our episode with SarahRose Black, where she shared with us a bit about the research world and her work with the CJMT. Yeah. So what I really loved about this episode was it's kind of like a shift in perspective, and really taking what can for some be a daunting field or concept of research and kind of paring it down to show a little bit of a lighter side, a little bit more of an exciting side, and stripping it down to really the fact that like research is asking questions and then finding them and getting to go on that adventure to figure out what are the answers to these questions that maybe I'm having or people around me are having, and that it doesn't have to be such a scary thing.
Yeah, if you haven't heard the episode yet, or if you haven't heard of what the CJMT is, it's basically the Canadian Journal of Music Therapy, which is the sister journal to our national association, the Canadian Association of Music Therapists. So the American Association has a journal similar, and so basically all of the wonderful work and research projects and papers get submitted to this journal, and we get to see a rounded representation of what the scientific frontier is like in Canada.
Yeah, and SarahRose talks about that too, of like, okay, what is this scope of research? It doesn't have to just be great, your typical study, we do X and we get these results and it's statistically significant or not. There's so much that can go into the world of research. There's qualitative research, there's article or journal reviews, there are opportunities to collaborate with people in different fields. And so if you don't consider yourself to be a researcher, it kind of gives that space to reevaluate. Okay, well, maybe I'm not going and doing these in-person research studies with a whole bunch of different variables, but the things that we're exploring, the questions that we're asking are still valuable and still need to be shared with the community.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a spot for so much collaboration and innovation. I think that's one thing that SarahRose made very clear within the episode, is that she's so willing for innovative ideas, creative ideas, and mentorship, opportunities for mentorship. So one of the things that I loved about her talking about this innovation is that she's making the journal a little bit more personable and palatable for people that don't necessarily love to read full, studies or really heavy, scientifically driven, factual, well, everything's factual, but, really rigorous and dense studies. And so there are some elements of some interviews that are coming into the CJMT, highlighting the work of various professionals around the country and the valuable work that they've been doing throughout their life career. And so it's going to be interesting to start seeing those pop up and get to know people a little bit more in this platform, in this resource that we have.
Yeah, definitely. It's exciting. It's another way that we can stay connected to our field and, like you said, the people around the world who are doing such incredible things that maybe we're not seeing in our communities, or maybe we can take from. Sometimes questions will come out of what someone else is doing, or we'll be able to build our toolkits or our therapeutic identity based around some of the other things that we're reading and others are putting into the world, which is really exciting.
Yeah, and opportunities for collaboration. So I think at some point in that episode we did mention that, people have different skill sets. And even if you look at the partnership of Kim and I, I'm really passionate about writing things. I really love to sit down and write. And I love to work with other people and sit and brainstorm ideas. So that's where a lot of my passions lie and my skill set. And Kim is really interested in research work and really sitting down and going at it.
And being in that moment and being on the floor a little bit, or maybe more of those
ground zero. No,
but
I've never wish that on you.
Oh, yes. But that's a perfect example, right, of how we can collaborate. And like you said, someone who's maybe you're not super driven by this concept of great, I'm going to go do a research study, but the write-up of it might be more down your alley. Whereas for me, I love writing and I enjoy once I get to it, but yeah, I very much more enjoy being on the ground and doing the planning and things. And then when I get to the writing, I'm like, shoot, how do I put this into words? So it's that balance of playing off of one another and finding people that you connect with. And so collaborating in that way, but also I think SarahRose also mentioned this as a hope for her and it's a hope for me, but collaborating interdisciplinary wise within the research, because I mean, we know this. Our field is very collaborative with other professionals. There's lots that we can see and we can do.
Yes.
So why not reflect that in some of the questions or the research that we're seeking?
Yeah. So much opportunity. So much opportunity. And, you know, I think she's very open to whatever stage your idea is in, whatever stage your paper or your study is in. So if you're thinking about going down this path, or if you're thinking about research in general, I would strongly suggest reading a couple of the issues of CJMT, but also reaching out to SarahRose, who's really passionate about connecting with people and helping them along this journey. And so whether or not your research study or idea is ready, if you're interested in going down this path, if you have questions about it, I'm sure she can guide you in the right direction and help you to get to where you want to go.
Yeah, definitely.